Alrighty everybody, I need to address a major mistake that I made in this video. My mic wasn't picking up for majority of this time in this recording. So I had to do some voiceover stuff to kind of make it work a little bit better. And yes, this video is quite a bit shorter than the other ones, but it was too good not to post. Because guys, I got some insane stuff in this chase with the 4th of July variant TIV2. But before we get into this video that I fumbled on a little bit but was absolutely insane, I really appreciate if you like this, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and check the description down below. There is a ton of stuff down there, one of which is including my IRL Storm Chasing channel. Make sure to subscribe to that. I want to try to hit 500 subscribers on that by the end of this month, so let's make that happen. It's only going to be possible because of you guys. My Discord server is down there, and a lot of other stuff is also down there. Go check all that out, go follow all that. I really appreciate the support, guys. But anyways, let's get into this pretty insane video. Dude, this thing's getting even bigger. That thing's like a half-mile wide. Nope, back up, back up. Nope, we're gone. The server I decided to play with the 4th of July variant TIV2 was this 21.5. This server had really good cape, really good 3 cape. Laps rates were pretty darn solid. Acceleration was also really good with really good relative humidities. Southeast slow motion, but at 65 miles an hour. Little did I know this tornado was going to be a huge one. I had to turn around and go back into Prior Lake. However, I was not expecting to see the size of this tornado until I rounded this turn. This thing was absolutely huge, but I had to make a decision as to whether I wanted to turn around and go south or continue west and go south. But I made that decision to go west and south. When I was finally able to get the full picture of this tornado, I didn't realize how huge it already was. Probably 1.5 miles wide already. However, this thing would continue to keep growing and growing and growing. And I had to eventually find a spot to probe. And the velocities on radar were indicating that this thing was extremely violent as well. I was not expecting for this to keep going. However, this thing continued to rapidly expand as I tried to place my probe down here. When I realized that, I had to get a thumbnail as fast as I could, but while even doing this thing was continuing to rapidly expand as well. I attempted to place another probe, but this thing was expanding too fast, and it was already too strong for me to do it, and I almost got pulled in. So I had to continue south and hope to gosh I could get a probe down. And finally I made it to the 3 Mile Lake area, trying to place another probe down with this thing rapidly expanding still. By now this thing was probably approaching 3 miles wide. But tragedy strikes when I get yoinked by that TIV2. That TIV2 would unfortunately cost me a lot here as I get yoinked into the tornado. But when I get into Prior Lake, I realized how close this thing was to the town. I knew this thing was huge. I soon had to take shelter at the gas station because the funnel was already reaching Prior Lake. And by the time I took shelter, my probe was already getting 250 mile-an-hour winds while this thing continued to grow. However, this tornado did take that east turn, 259 miles an hour now on my probe that I placed down. I tried to place another one, but it was way too strong for that. I should have known better, but the whole gas station eventually collapsed on me. And eventually, I was flung again. This thing sounded violent and continued to get larger. This was getting insane. And by this point, I was able to eventually shelter with the tornado now at its peak with of nearly 5 miles wide at nearly 300 miles an hour. This tornado was an absolute beast. However, by now, it was starting to weaken just a little bit, but was maintaining its size. And this is when 300-mile-an-hour confirmations would start coming in. And my probe would continue to shoot up. And eventually, it capped at 298 miles an hour. I was once again robbed of another 300 plus, like I've been throughout this entire Infinite High event so far. But eventually I was able to exit that dubia donuts, respawn my TIV2, which took forever because of how violent this tornado was and how large it was. With how much destruction it was causing, it just created immense server lag. But there, you can see the tornado. It was absolutely huge still. And at this point, as it continued to shrink, it was probably closer to about 2.5 miles again. However, I didn't realize there was another violent tornado right next to it. And this thing would probably start picking up close to about 270 miles an hour if I had to guess by the rotation speed, the dial scans, and the velocities on radar. I continued to kind of monitor both of these tornadoes and try to get into position to get at least a screenshot of some sort as debris continued to fly into these tornadoes. But the server was struggling so bad because these things were all trying to move at once towards the tornadoes. But it is what it is sometimes. But man, this was an insane tornado. Moving on to the next tornado, I had to rush back up to Prior Lake to try to catch up to this other one, where I would try to attempt an intercept on this and not get yoinked by another TIV2. I eventually got in position, tried to place the probe, but this thing was already very strong, so I had to abandon the probe idea real quickly here and just get in as the winds were hitting over 100 miles an hour. Eventually the track came out and it was huge. 4.99 miles wide. Gosh dang it, I fumbled that. I thought my mic was on, but it wasn't. Dang it, dude. I'm not paying attention to that. Whatever voiceover happens. But oh my gosh, dude. 4.99 miles wide. That is insane. Let me know if that was a PB. Because I think it was for me. I don't know for sure. Alright, we're getting really close to this. I'm gonna go for a deployment on this. It seems like it has peaked. Let's stop. Let's just stop. I'm gonna go for it here. Alright, deploy. Put a probe down. If we get pulled in, we will get pulled back into the vehicle. I'm assuming here. Yep, there we go. We just get the one down. I don't even care. Alright, here we go. We're intercepting this thing. Pretty strong winds right now. Oh yeah, here we go. 149, 163. Oh, 194 immediately. 202, 203. Oh, are we gonna survive this? I don't even know if we're gonna survive this. This is gonna be close, guys. This is gonna be really close. I don't know for sure. Oh yeah, we're barely hanging on. Hang on, bro. Oh, we're good. We're chilling. 203 is gonna be on max here. This thing definitely peaked. I was thinking possibly 260 on this. Wow, dude, this thing was a little violent. These tornadoes are insane in this server, dude. Oh my gosh. Let's go ahead and undeploy here. Well, unfortunately, that happened. I didn't want it to happen, but it did. It is what it is. But man, I locked in for that voiceover portion. I know the spacing may have seemed a bit off a little bit, but I wanted to try to give a bit more of that raw footage with that voiceover as well. So there you have it. It's been a while since I've had to do that because of that mistake. The last time I've had to do it was when 2005 TIV2 was introduced to the game. TIV2, smart one? I think you meant TIV1. I don't know there. But you know what? You gotta adapt and overcome somehow. But that will be the chase for the 4th of July variant TIV2 here. very, very good fumble to 300 because I got yoinked by another TIV 2 and it shifted away, of course. Gotta love missing a 300 when it's 5 freaking miles wide. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate if you like this, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and check the description down below. There's a ton of stuff down there. My IRL Chasing Channel being one of them. Let's try to get that to 500 subscribers by the end of this month. I would really appreciate the support, guys. My Discord server is down there, and a lot of other social media streaming platforms are also down there. Go subscribe to all that. Subscribe, follow, whatever, same thing. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you all later. Take care.